Sandra was 25 years old when she woke up in a hospital 800 miles away from where she thought she was, with no memory of how she got there. What's more, she also had large gaps in the rest of her memory, as well as significant wounds on her body with no way to explain how they got there. Sandra also had significant shifts in her personality, going from helpful and agreeable to hostile and belligerent. It was in the hospital that Sandra eventually shifted from her own personality to one who introduced herself as Mary. Mary was able to explain many of the large gaps in Sandra's memory, as well as several of the wounds that were on her body. Where Sandra was found to have been more relaxed and helpful, Mary herself was extremely hostile and angry. It was because of this shift that doctors were finally able to find an accurate diagnosis and help both Sandra and Mary. Oxford Dictionary defines this diagnosis as dissociative identity disorder, which is characterized as having two or more personalities with different thought patterns and behavior patterns, as well as separate memories within the same individual. Sandra fulfills the requirements of this diagnosis by demonstrating depersonalization, fugue, and dramatic extreme mood shifts.
Hamlet's diagnosis is similarly simple. He blacks out, forgets significant events in his memory, and shifts between civility and brutality in a matter of seconds. His erraticism veers too closely into multiplicity to be ignored. But first, let's talk about incest. DID requires intense emotional trauma throughout childhood development to develop. When filtered through a DID diagnosis, Hamlet's multiplicity has some very concerning implications for his relationship with his mother, particularly his fascination with her sex life, her rank sweats, and enseamed bed. Hamlet's dissociative identity disorder emerged as a coping mechanism in childhood and continued to function as one in adulthood. When he blacks out, it's to deal with confrontation. When he switches personalities, it's to deal with confrontation. This is particularly highlighted in his interactions with Ophelia.
And now speaking of his interactions with Ophelia, we can see these interactions in Act 2, Scene 1, where Ophelia is explaining how a disheveled Hamlet accosted her, and in this situation, he clearly shows signs of DID, and this relates to an article of a woman named Karen from an NPR transcript that talks about how she had lapses in her memory because she would move into her altars, and Hamlet does the same thing. He moves into one of his altars that has a completely different personality so he can interact with Ophelia. And in Act 2, Scene 2, Hamlet explicitly says that he is unhappy with his life, and this is due to the fact that he has had his father murdered by his uncle and has had his mother marry his uncle. And nobody knows that his madness is stemming from this kind of trauma. So he internalizes that and starts developing these different personalities so he can cope with his nauseating reality. And to go further, in Act 3, we see Hamlet interact further with characters and see his personalities appear. So in Act 3, Hamlet's behavior relates to an article from the BBC about a woman named Jenny Haynes. I messed up, actually.
Do you want to restart?
Yeah, I messed up.
How about we cut it, because she said